Cherie Hanson here. Always take my mornings very slow. It's a new thing. It's a gift I give myself after so many years of working very, very hard. But what I've found is that slow morning time allows me to learn and expand and grow because it gives me a chance to listen to information about how the mind works, how the body works, how our energy works, how to read your energy, and what the hell are you doing next? I feel it's really important to have times of contemplation. Otherwise, your life just becomes a bumper car game. You go along with your foot on the floor, the pedaling hard, until something bumps into you, a debt, an illness, a family member, once again, not understanding who you are. And so you're in this place where you're not grounded in yourself. It's very, very difficult to get there in a culture that isn't connected to the earth, to nature, to the ebb and flow idea, to a more organic. I think of standing on the shore of an ocean, and sometimes the tide comes in and sometimes the tide goes out, and sometimes horrible storms come in. But if you've got a culture that is linear and that is measuring you as if you were a line, are you aligned? Here's your line. How tall are you? How much money have you got? How many years have you been married? Where are the indications of your value? Where's your certificate? Where's your diploma? Where's your group belonging? How do you fit into everything? And so what the culture ends up doing is it leaves us with a massive mound of distractions. I used to watch Fraggle Rock, and one of the characters in Fraggle Rock was the big compost heap. Sometimes that's the way my mind feels. It's like, why am I having so many thoughts? And what the hell is the point of them? And they're just, it's like no-see-ums or a mosquito swarm or a murder of crows showing up. It's this influx of all this minutia that is absolutely irrelevant to the truth of who we are on the face of the earth. The only thing that matters is our energy. Now, that's a hard one for people in Western culture to understand. I mean, if somebody's a football player or a baseball player, maybe, that kind of energy, skill as an athlete. Did they clear the bar in the high jump? But for us to understand how organic we are is almost impossible. I was looking through Facebook posts from 2016, 2017, and there's the winter flu again. There's recovering from the winter flu again. And every time we go through that, or I go through that, I see it as a challenge and a failure. Yes, if I am human, there's something wrong with me. Are you having sad thoughts? Do you have dust on your surfaces of your mind? Is there clutter in the attic of your being up here? And so we become distracted by our very self-criticism. Isn't that a beautiful thing to understand? When we are so intent on measuring and judging and abusing and criticizing ourselves, it's a distraction from reality. The reality is we're like a rose. There's a rose that's a rosebud, and it opens up, and then it's got different petals, and it's got colors on its petals, and it's got texture, and it has a smell, and the visual aspect of it makes us feel happy and lifts us up, and the smell makes us feel happy and lifts us up, and the coldness of the flower on our skin makes us feel happy and lifts us up. And that's all that matters. You, and even me, with my nagging and nattering of myself, and my pushing myself to not push. Do you get that? Criticizing myself because I'm criticizing myself. It's like a lasagna of mental failure. But what I do understand at this point in my life is that we have been entrained and imprinted to miss the point of life. We miss it. And that's been done on purpose. That's been done because of what we have done to one another. When we don't allow a group of people in our culture to have food, or when the landlords throw people out on the street, or when the veterans are not taken care of and they're left to just float like human garbage in the river of life, we have done that to one another. We have traumatized one another with our judgment, with our passive genocide, with our defense of ourselves. When you're defending your fort, you're shooting people who are attacking you. So if somebody has a different opinion or a view of the world, or if they're wearing a different color, why are they wearing that color? I've never liked purple. And so what we do is we begin to injure one another, and it's human history. It's considered to be valiant when we have an army and it attacks other people and kills their children. It shows how strong we are. We become proud of ourselves for our national identity or for our racial identity. I've got to tell you, one of my neighbors the other day was saying something about how upset she was that some of the young people had facial tattoos. And I get it, because I know I was raised in the 50s. You know, like, who has a tattoo? Well, maybe if you were a sailor or something, but women didn't have that. We know what being a woman meant. We had been given an assignment, a role, a guise, the lines in our play. And so now we're looking at, I think anytime we're triggered like that, we're being asked to look at our belief systems. I don't like what that person is doing. So now I'm triggered, and now I have to look at who I am and what my pattern is and how I've been conditioned. So it puts you in a place where you can find out some basic truths about yourself and about the way you were put out into the world, there comes to be a time, I think for most of us, where we're forced to see that we've been wrong. And here are the things we've been wrong about. We've been wrong about our connection to nature. We've been wrong about what we think about trees. We've been wrong about how we manage water. We've been wrong about people who look differently than we do. We've been wrong about the way we use our money. We have been wrong about our consumption of resources. We have been wrong about the way we think someone important behaves. That's a big one. You're important if you dress well, if you're a bully, if you are lacking empathy. That just shows how great they are. They don't need to think about anybody else. And so we come to this place where we see that maybe the way we've been behaving, there are consequences for those actions that hit us personally. Maybe the way that we believe about life is blighted, wrong-headed, and dare I say evil? Evil and cruel? How much leeway have you got for cruelty in your life? I watched a family walking down the street the other day, and the tall teenage boy was walking behind an older person who was slow, and he was going like this in the air, like he wanted to push her over. And the parents did not correct his behavior. So where did he learn that there are some people that don't deserve respect or patience? The culture, his family. So this is the thing I was thinking about today. I was thinking about how we have to wipe the slate clean, how we have to learn how to ground ourselves, how we learn how to change our values to come to a place where the only thing that matters as you go through a day, absolutely the only thing, is, was I kind? You start out in the morning, you ask yourself the question, am I going to be kind today? And to yourself as well. Not just to other people, but kind to yourself. And then at night, before you go to sleep, you go back over your day and you say, oh, maybe I didn't get some things done. Maybe I didn't rake the leaves. Maybe, I had an intention to do something that I didn't do. Maybe I should have called somebody. But I look back over the day and I think, my God, I was kind. And that is the deepest, most peaceful sleep you could ever get. So think about what your criteria are. Think about how much you're being hijacked, conditioned, controlled, puppeted. Think about how much anger and competitiveness is in your life. Because it all is energy. And you control your energy. Hey? I want to ask you to subscribe. I really appreciate it if you subscribe. It helps me get the message out to other people. And it's my heart. It's my heart. I want to help people pull their heads out of the fantasy world that we've been living in, which is so destructive. And if you want a reading, a coaching session, a channel reading, a psychic reading, card reading, a consultation with your life plan, your contract, your goals for the next month or 2 weeks or a year, get a hold of me, because I'm really helping people that I have consultations with. They're shifting their lives, and it's such a joy to me. It's like, wow. So get a hold of me. We can have an hour reading and set things up, and then you can begin a new way of being through your actions and your thoughts. I want to say to you that I'm so grateful that you stopped to watch this video. I appreciate you.